is that you come with responsibilities. And one of the main things teach or speak about is from my experiences, because those experiences are a compilation of developing a mind state to be able to think straight on that narrow path, and develop a sense of comprehension, awareness, and other capabilities that God has innately, the universe has innately bestowed on us. Now, we all have a story to tell. Yep. I think each and every last one of us has a story to tell. Some people have more unique stories than others. Some people have stories you wouldn't even believe. You wouldn't even believe, wouldn't even come close to believing what some people's stories are. The universe is a very vast place. Human existence is what it is. It's full of trauma. It's full of all type of the negativities that kind of like circulate the earth, but it's also full of positive energy. And one thing that I've realized in life, in my own journeys, is that developing a positive mind state is what helps keep your sanity. Like, if you're not in a positive mind state, you will not, under no circumstances, maintain your sanity. So I want to take you guys on a journey with me this morning, and we're going to talk about life in general. But we're also going to use, I think, some aspects of my own personal journey to kind of give a real thorough understanding to what has been going on and taking place, in my life, because, you know, I hate to use like phrases and, character. One thing about me, I haven't really like came out on social media and said, all right, this is who I am, and this is, but everybody that pretty much experienced me in person, they know like, hey, this guy here, is, he's going to be a very cool guy, very knowledgeable guy. He's going to help me even when he ain't got it. You know what I mean? Even when he ain't got it, he's still going to help people. Even when he ain't got it. But if I know you got resources, right? And I have the knowledge to help you take your resources and use those resources, I'm going to help you, man. That's just me. And that's like, ain't no mask on over here. In real life, I explain to people, listen, this is who I am. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay. And so I have like prided myself on helping others succeed, because in some strange way, I gain a feeling of security, a feeling of love and belongingness to helping people. I try to help people, and I've always been like that. Because one of the main lessons I've learned from childhood trauma, of course, is that when you are or you feel unloved, you have to create love from nothing. You see, when you are feeling unloved or you're experiencing not being loved, you have to create it from nothing. It's the two things you're going to do. It's either like you're going to pretty much say, well, you know what? Because I didn't get any love, I'm not going to show any love. You can say that. That's on you. For me, it's has always been, I ain't getting no love. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to generate as an alchemist. I'm going to create some love. I'm going to generate some love. I'm going to see how I can create it for myself. It's either for me, because it's in me to create the love that I would like to get from others. So in this journey that I've traveled on, I've always tried to create love everywhere I go. And trust me, when I say this, you know, I've been in many different realms. Okay. I come from poverty. I'm not ashamed to say that. I mean, the majority of us, some of us born with silver spoons in our mouth, some of us born with golden spoons in our mouths. But me, myself, personally, I came from poverty. I came from a place, an environment where, you know, survival was the key. You got to survive, you know, and in poverty, the main mentality is you better get you some money, you know. But there's many people in poverty who be like, I'm not trying to get no money. I mean, I would like to have it, but I want to get some love, because that's something that growing up, many of us never had. Like, you know, their stories. But moving and understanding the dynamic of family dysfunction. You know, family dysfunction is serious. It can be real serious. It can be extremely serious. With me in particular, you know, I've always felt, just me in general, I've always felt like, you know, my grandmother, she had my back. My grandmother and granddaddy, they had my back, man. Kudos to everybody who grandparents had their back and who grandparents stood up for them as children, who grandparents loved them unconditionally, because grandparents and parent love is kind of different. You know, the things you can get away with your grandparents, you can't get away with your parents. You know what I mean? Your grandparents show you a different type of love. You know what I mean? So for me, my grandparents had, like, when they left here, I'll put it like this. When they left here, whew, I'm like, boy, y'all done left me with all the devils, huh? You know what I mean? They really did. And so one thing that I've learned through this journey, man, is that I've developed this sense of trying to fix things. I want to fix it. I want to make it better, because ultimately I feel like everybody, you know, we're going to feel like everybody should be part of some successful movement. Everybody should be part of some successful structure, because we're not in poverty to stay here. We're here to elevate. We're here to make it better. So how can we make it better? That has always been the question. I knew, based on my past and my history, you know, it was like, either you're going to heal yourself or you're not. And so what I've learned from being around toxic and psychotic people and having toxic and psychotic family members, what I've learned is that you have to comply in order to survive around them. You have to comply. So you're going to have to take who you are and mask it with who they want you to be in order for you to elevate, in order for you to function properly around them. Because these people, toxic and psychotic family members, they want you in their structure. And their structure is complying with their rules, their regulations, and everything that they want in order to keep the cycle of toxicity flowing through the family. Not because they're intentionally doing it, but mainly because that's their programming. That's all they know. All they know is, let's get some money. Nobody love each other, but everybody just want to get some money. But it ain't no love in the getting money. So getting money based on survival and getting money based on love is two different things. It really is. It's two different things. When you get money for survival, it's like you and this person can get money together, but if the rules of survival changes for any one of them, they're going to cross you and go somewhere else to get some money. Or they're going to abandon you and go somewhere else to get some money. But when getting money is based on love, you stick it out. You stick it out when you got some money together, and you also stick it out when you can't get it together. You know, and that's the power of unity, real unity. And so in my struggle, in my journey, right, I came with responsibilities. When I came on social media, this was like what, maybe 14 years ago. When I first came on social media, I first had my first Facebook group. I observed and I looked around. I said, man, wow, people got these groups with 20 and 30,000 people. So I joined a few of them. You know, I joined these groups to try to see exactly from a root working hoodoo perspective, even a life perspective. I wanted to see like what they got going on. I wanted to learn from them, you know? And so in the process of me going into groups and learning from them, I learned a lot of things. And some of the things that I've learned is, you know, the idea of group mind state, you know, and group behavior. I learned a lot of that from observing. And I said to myself, I said, you know what? I ain't trying to, no, not me. I'm not trying to have no huge group. I'd rather have 100 people in my group and we can, you know, do this thing together. We can learn. I can learn from them. They can learn from me, share experiences and grow together as a small unit. At least that's what I was thinking. And I got myself into various groups and kind of left those groups and created my own. But moving forward, life has been a journey and life is a journey. You know, so I'm not the type to really like come on social media and want to fight. I've learned lessons there in that department. Don't get it misunderstood. I learned plenty lessons with coming out on social media, arguing with people, wanting to fight. And that's genocide, man. It's just another form of genocide, you know? So I really don't like that. I never did. In the past, maybe I've been instigated or, you know, kind of influenced to do certain things like relationships I've been in. I've had women who were like going around creating chaos or whatnot. And then I would come in to protect them, like, you ain't about to mess with her. The whole time it was like, whoa, they came to do that, you know? And I'm like, all right, you came around me to get me in all kinds of problems and beefs with other people so that something negative could happen. You see? And I'm like, what? Like, really? Like somebody like me, I'm more or less on a level where, man, I want peace, man. I'm trying to build and get some peace, but that wasn't what happened. My greatest mistake moving forward has always been, I have a soft spot for people. You know, I have a soft spot for the homeless. I have a soft spot in my heart for people on drugs. I got a soft spot in my heart for people who are oppressed, downtrodden, and looked down on. I've always had a soft heart for that. So many of the people that I've attracted were people that were rejected in other areas, either rejected by their parents or rejected by their, you know, loved ones, spouses. Those were the people that I kind of drew in. They felt rejected. I felt rejected. So, hey, let's try to figure this out together and create a system of healing, which I did with my root craft. It's just a system of healing. And so I met some people along the way, right? And generally in life, I tend to stay away from the past, right? Because I've tried to fix things. I've tried to fix as much as I could. Disagreement I've had with, especially people like I know come from the struggle with me. Like, I don't want no problems, man. I ain't never want them problems, not with y'all. For what? Why would I want problems with you, man? For real. Think about it. Why would I want problems with you? But here's how I felt. And this is one for the books. And this is no joke. It ain't no sarcasm in this video or nothing. This is some real life story. As a teenager, you're kind of like in the streets because you've been rejected at home. So you take it to the streets. You're looking for that love outside. And this is what, as teenagers, this is what we do. And this is a message to parents. Like, you got teenagers, man, you got to show them a different kind of love, man, because if they feel unloved, man, they're going to the street. They're going outside trying to find some love. And we know that love is extremely limited outside. So as parents, man, we should definitely give as much love as we could. Now, when I went into the streets, I can't say honestly that I had a reason. I can't say that. Honestly, I had a real reason, but surrounded by the elements that I was surrounded by, it became very obvious that I didn't want to be around those elements anymore. I wanted to do something different, man. And so I went in the streets. Yeah, medicine man, the person I used to be, sold drugs, straight did anything I needed to do to get some money, not to hurt people, to get money. And I went to prison. And during that time in prison was the most enlightening experience at that time. Because I went straight. They gave me 25 years. And out of that 25 years, did it all. I had to max it out. They wasn't letting me out. I had to max it out. So when I maxed out my time and I came home to, you come home 10 years later, you in a whole different environment. Thoughts have changed. Technology has changed. Everything has changed. You know what I mean? Everything has changed. Even friendships. Because while I was in prison, it was like, I was away. I'll say away. There were people who were my friends before I went away. When I came home, they were friends with people like I shouldn't be friends with, and it became a situation where I noticed those things. I noticed that, hey, my so-called friends are friends with people associated and affiliated with the reason I went to prison. And I'm trying to put all this behind me. But the 10 years I was gone, they was building their relationships. So coming home, it obviously made me, like by default, the bad guy. I'm the guy that I came home. I don't know what these people been doing while I was gone. I don't know what they were doing. All I know is that, hey, my partners in them, some, not all. Let's get that straight now, because I know y'all watching. Relax. Some, not all, were like affiliated with people that was affiliated with, and so this is why people say, they can go back in the days. They say back in the days, you know who your enemies were. And nowadays, your enemies got a bigger smile than your friends. And if your friend is at your enemy house, then he is your enemy too. And so I don't like the idea of having enemies. I really don't. Especially when you've already done your time and you've apologized and you've moved on. And so, but people don't let things go. I understand. And so for the reason of maintaining peace, I've always been like, hey, to keep peace for everybody involved, I'll stay away. I'll get out the way. So I made it my business when I came home from prison. I went to Trident Technical College in Charleston. And, you know, I started studying, of course, IT. We all know that. We know. And I developed, and I like, man, I can do this. I can do this. And I felt scammed by the by the prison officials. Well, by the officials at the school. I felt scammed by them because I explained my whole situation, man. I've been to prison, you know, and they didn't tell me. They just wanted to get that check. You know, they just wanted to get that check. They didn't tell me, hey, man, you can't get IT. Nobody going to give you a job in IT with your criminal history because most of the IT jobs need government clearance. You need a perfect record to be in a server room. Perfect. They're not letting you in no server room and you done all that stuff, and that stuff is floating on your record. And so I didn't understand at that time. But they scammed me. School scammed me. They had to sign up, yo, man, you're straight, you're gonna be great. Couldn't go nowhere. With IT certifications, no job is gonna take a chance on you like that. So I had to learn the hard way. And I did. It hurt. Man, it hurt. Because I was like, man, at the time I'm thinking like, man, I can't get a college degree that'll work for me at that time. That'll work for me with this record. And I'm like, damn, man. You know, so what I gonna do? Well, I did the next best thing at that time in that young mind I had. And I said, yo, I'm going to go back, take it back to the streets, you know? So yeah, I took it back to the streets. I got me some more destruction and I sold that destruction. And even in the process of selling that destruction, I've always had a good heart. Man, I've always been the person that, you pregnant? No, I can't sell you this. No, you got to go to somebody, man, you crazy. Something wrong with you, huh? And they sell it to him. I'd be like, man, the heart I got in me, I can't do it when a lady come to me with a big old stomach. And I'm like, she got $50 and I'm selling. No, I couldn't do it. You know, so I never realized that wasn't for me. Because everybody looking at me like, this nigga got too much of a good heart to be out there. This guy, his heart is too good to be out there, for real. So I came up with this plan, right? And the selling of destruction culture, there's things called double up. So I got my destruction and I say, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna outdo everybody. They selling these little tiny pieces like this here. I'm selling double ups. I'm gonna sell me some $20 double ups. So when I started selling the $20 double ups, I would come outside like at 6 a.m. People literally standing there waiting on, man, Slim, what's Slim, man? I ain't trying to buy nothing from you. I'm gonna buy from Slim. I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, cars lined up, people waiting on me. So the guys in the hood used to be like, man, you gotta stop that, man. Man, you making things bad for business, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I'm just trying to make me some money, man. That's all I'm trying to do, cuz. And so, you know, I didn't realize then that you got a good heart and you got an extraordinary mind. Like you came up with this marketing plan to say, I'm going to sell double ups. Like the way I'm going to cook my destruction and everything will allow me to sell double ups and still make as much money as everybody else. And I did that. Now, through the course of time, to be honest with you, I never been on drugs. That's one thing. I mean, I may have popped a few, what you call them things? X pills. Yeah, guilty with the X pills. Because that was like the culture. It's like if you're out there hustling, the culture is you got to pop a pill, smoke some weed. And so I did those things and drink, but my body always rejected it because it was something in me that was different. I didn't realize. And so I never realized that some, not all, because I know they're watching and I'm being real, I'm being honest now. Some of the people that I affiliated with, they were part of the group of people that for like the reason I went to prison. but I didn't know. They knew. Everybody else knew, except me. And so it came to me like feeling energies. Like, man, this person is my partner. And I'm trying to make things right for the team. And they like trying to get rid of me. You know, trying to get rid of me. Because, you know, some people got money, some people don't. So it's all about that. Trying to get, so when I peeped it, I kind of stepped away. Was I hurt? Of course. Man, I was devastated. Because it wouldn't be nothing I wouldn't have done for them. If they came to me and said, man, this, and this, I was there for them. You know what I mean? I've always been like that. And so, you know, I was hurt, real hurt. I'm talking about hurt. You know what I mean? To the point that I was like, man, I got to kind of like get away from people. So yeah, I had to adjust. And so you will have to adjust to things like that. And just moving forward, it's like, man, did these things actually happen to me, or am I hallucinating? As time go by, you realize, nah, you're not hallucinating. You're not paranoid. Yeah, while you've been gone, people been bonding and making relationships. So when you come home, you become the odd person, because you hanging with some people, not all, you hanging with some people that are connected to the reason you went to jail. They ain't not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you. They're going to hang with you. They're going to hang with them. They're going to hang with you. They're going to hang with them. And then what end up obviously happening in the course, I'm not glorifying street culture, nor the selling of destruction. I don't glorify it, but I ain't knocking nobody, because life be lifing. I'm not knocking a soul. But I did realize that moving forward, that was the case. I got out the way. A lot of back and forths and stuff from teenage things. And, you know, I wish the best for everybody, and I wish peace, especially at this age. Like, that was a long time ago, but things linger or whatnot. And so I've been through various setups, and I participated. Ain't no secret. I've really participated, because in the underground world, and I'm going to tell you something specific about the underground world, there's a lot of things going on. There's the selling of destructions of bodies. There's the selling of anything. These things happen. Yeah. In the underworld, yeah, it does. And so in that darkness, in that dark state, you don't want to stay there. You don't want to stay there. You're trying to figure a way out. O-U-T of that. What I've done moving forward is kind of place myself in a position to be like, hey, man, you know what? I want out. By then, I had circumstances that just, you know, what I'll say about the circumstances, you know, ambush and a setup is two different things. What a setup, somebody trying to set you up to see what you got going on or whatever, or maybe trying to rob you or trying to take you out. But an ambush is an ambush. An ambush means, and in this day and time especially, whoo, it's wicked. It's wicked, man. I don't blame people for being paranoid. It is wicked. Because in this world we live in now, you know, people hire hackers and to listen to conversations. Not only do they listen to conversations, they listen to where you're going to be. They listen to your whereabouts. And what they don't understand, that there are certain people with specific levels of discernment where they'll be able to discern what's going on, because you can see it. It's an energy. I can't explain it, because that's something you can't teach. I've been followed, and let me tell you something, man. This is God honest truth. I've been followed on Greyhound buses. I've been followed at the airport. I've been followed on Amtrak. People like on buying tickets when I buy tickets. I buy a ticket to go here, they buy a ticket to go there. I have the hotel, they at the hotel. But the crazy part about it, and it's been going on for years, ever since I like moved out of my hometown and went out somewhere else, it's like I'm being followed. I'm really being followed. Like this is like weird. And I'm like, for what reason I could be followed? So I'm thinking like, what the hell you done did? So I'm thinking of the things that I did and the altercations that I get. And I said, well, obviously there is somebody really mad. I came home many times asking questions or whatnot, like trying to figure out like what's going on. And I guess the people that I talk to, because I guess they so focused on like the old version of me. And the old version of me is, you know, like I guess a crash out or whatever you want to call that. But I've been past that era. And I ask questions though. I'm like, man, like, what in the hell did I really do? But I ended up finding out that there were things that were never like corrected. And so when I came to correct it, like correct the version of the story, like there's a difference between somebody doing something bad and intentionally having bad behavior, you know, and somebody caught in a situation, you're interacting with people, but people who you're interacting with have bad intentions for you. They're trying to intentionally hurt you, intentionally provoke you. So now when you protect yourself, you're judged on how you choose to protect yourself. And even like with me, when I protect myself, it just depends on like the situation, like who I'm with, who this person is, or whatnot. Pardon me for a second. I'll be right back. Let me go get something. Okay, back. So one of the things about me, man, like one thing about Medicine Man, you know, Snap, Chavis, I do not, under any circumstances, want to see the worst for anybody. I've interacted in the dark. Yeah. I've interacted in the light. Yes. In both instances, I make sure the people I'm with is always right, always good, always. But when people come at you with negative intentions, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm in the underground doing some more underground shit, I make sure that my people straight. I make sure the people I'm dealing with are good. You know what I mean? Because the old me has been gone. Then, man, that stuff there been over with, cuz. For real, long time ago. Very long time ago, you know? And so when I interact with people, I make sure that I make sure that they have the good experience with me. You know, if I'm playing or paying, it doesn't matter. It's just a thing where you want to make sure people straight, people good, the vibe is good and keep it moving. But ambushes, it's like you can't really, I guess we live in a world where people place you in situations, orchestrate, manufacture things using hackers, trackers, intercepting phone calls, calling people back, telling people, hey, we give you this if you do this. And it's like really weird, man. They'll videotape you, I guess, so they can put it in the underground and show people, ha ha ha, look what we did to them, or look what we, that kind of behavior is insanity to me. I really wanted to stay away from it because I've been seeing it. But I'm an open book in real life. I'm an open book. Like I'll tell you, right? I'll tell you, like the past me, the old me would tell you, like, yo, yeah, I went to the casino. Yeah, I turned up. Yeah, I hit big on the roulette table, and yeah, I partied like a rock star. Yeah, I sure did. And so, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed about that. Why? I'm grown. I'm almost 50 years old, y'all. For real. Almost 50. So when I say I went to the casino and turned up, you know, some young ladies right there, some, you know, hey, listen, and let me tell you something about that. Let me tell you something about that. In the casino, you always going to have, like, you know, sex workers or whatnot. I'm not afraid of this conversation. We always going to have sex workers. And when you in that environment and you're thinking from an underground perspective and an underground principle, yeah, of course, you may, depending on who you are, you may say, I want to double and dabble. If I'm single, I want to double and dabble. If I'm single, but if I'm in a relationship, no. And then if I'm in a traumatized relationship, I might double and dabble, and I was wrong. Very wrong. Very wrong. You know, shouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid of the conversation because I know the difference. See, the reason you know a setup versus you doing something wrong intentionally is when you come into a circumstance or a situation and you make sure everybody's right. Here you go. You know, doesn't matter if you're paying. Okay, here you go. You know, what is it? You see, and in that situation, when you make sure everybody good and they still try to attack you or do some super weird stuff to distract you while somebody ambush you, that's dangerous. Extremely dangerous, man. Being distracted with nonsense when you never had the intentions of kind of like being in that environment for that. You know, you know for a fact you ain't come here for this. You know for a fact you ain't come here you come here to have a good time, because at that time, that was the mentality I would have. And so I protected a lot of people. In my past life, and like I say, I'm not afraid of the conversation. In my past life, you know, I protected a lot of people. I've protected guys, girls, you know, who were in the underground, like, man, have my back while we doing this. All right, have my back while we doing, you know, and I've done it, you know. So it kind of like bothers, it hurts your heart to see that people say, man, you know, you're a destructive person. You're this weird, wild, wicked narcissist. I'm like, what? Man, I'm trying to escape the psychotic behaviors of others projected on me. I'm trying to escape that. But if I can't escape it, then the only thing you can do is address it, man. You know, and you don't want to address it like in a wild and weird way. You just want to say, hey, man, here's where you got me messed up. If you orchestrate an ambush and that person sees it and defends themselves and makes it out of it, then ultimately, who's at fault? If we agree to interact and then on some positive stuff, you don't matter if we say we're going to sell some destruction or if we're going to, if you're having sex or whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter at that point. Once you agree to say, this is what we're doing, okay, this is what we're doing. Nobody's ashamed here. You see? And so, but it's not that on the other end. On your end, it's like, hey, here it is. Let's have a good time. But on the other end, it's not that. On the other end, it's really like, I come to distract you while other people take positions and we're going to harm you, take you out. But then your intuition, your discernment, boop, it kicks in like something ain't right. And then a person attack you. The moment a person attack, especially after you done give them some money or whatever they ask for, they attack you. It's like, whoa, now you got to look around because there's a reason for that. You look around, you see clearly, oh, there are people taking positions. So you kind of like react to it. You react to it. And your reaction becomes a major, major problem. It becomes a major problem. Because that wasn't supposed to happen like that. It was supposed to go the other way. But it comes a problem. And so you're looking at it like, where did all of this come from? And so you look back into your past and you say, oh, there's people pushing a very serious narrative, right? A very serious narrative that you are a negative person in this aspect. And that's not true. Not at all. Not at all. But if you have to defend yourself in an ambush attempt, do so. That's the catch. That's the key. You know, and so even though I felt like, damn, I've been harmed in so many different ways, I still was able to generate love. I still was able to generate a sense of understanding, like, man, these people, man, they don't know what they're doing, man. I'm going to pray for them. I'm going to pray for them. I'm going to stay out their way. I'm going to even move here or move there, get out the way, all the way out the way. And so when you do that, you know, and I've been in the underground now. I know how the underground operate, for real. They get on the phone and call people, oh, we know he there, or we know he here. Y'all better watch him because he this, and this. And then when I get there, these people showing me, like I moved to Jacksonville, right? I said, man, I'm going to separate myself, man, because I don't want no destruction, man. You know, I don't wish that on nobody. I only wish peace and prosperity. However you're doing it, do it. Peace and prosperity for everybody, man. I don't wish no destruction. But when I moved, I said, me get out these people way because they feel like there must be a fight. And I said, no, I'm going to get out your way. Give you your peace. When I got out the way, they're calling down to Jacksonville. I chilling on Jack's Beach. Coming out the little ice cream shop. There's ice cream shop that sell like ice cream with fruits on it. So, you know, I'm a little lactose, so I'm looking for the ice cream made with almond milk. And this guy, man, I don't even know this dude. This is how serious it is, right? I'm in Jacksonville. I don't even know this dude. This dude said, hey, my man. I said, what's up, bro? He said, look, show me his phone. That's when I extremely became aware of what was going on. Like there's people back here finding out where I'm at, calling people, telling people I'm going to tear up their community. I'm just going to tear it all up. And I never had no problem with nobody down there. Never had no problem. I've been in some places. I've been in Moncrief. Everybody know about Moncrief and Jacksonville, man. Them boys, this serious around here. It's serious, man, for real. Serious. And I had no problem. I used to live around there. Then I moved on the west side. I had no problems. But I did notice on my security camera that, you know, every so often there would be a car parked like in front of the gate, in front of the house. They'd be parked there, you know. I said, man, if that car parked there, and the crazy part about it is only two houses where I was living at. It was the house I'm living here, and there's another house there. So I knew the people that stay in this house, and I knew all their cars, you know, their ins and outs, friends or whatever. And there was no cars across the street. So to be parked there on a regular or like, you know, periodically, it was like a moment. So I, you know, got the tags off the car, kind of did my little research and like, who are these people? So I said, okay, let's see how far this goes. So I'm dealing with certain females. You know, I'm single. I'm kind of dealing with certain females. I'm noticing that I'm driving around. I'm being followed. I noticed that in Jacksonville. And I'm talking about 15 years ago. I said, damn, I'm really being followed. I'm at my job. I used to work for T-Mobile and I used to work for Dish. I'm at my jobs. And I'm like, damn, I'm being followed. Motherfuckers people following my work van. You know, Dish give you a van. So they following my work van. They following my car when I used to work at T-Mobile. They're following me. They're really following me. And this 15, 16 years ago. And I'm like, wow. You know? So I'm like, damn. So now I'm moving differently. I meet some young females because I'm young. Well, let's get that right. I'm young at that time. So when I say young lady, I definitely mean I'm young at that time. And so I'm meeting the woman and we politicking and kicking it. Everybody knew except me. But I figured it out. Because my man who I met on Jack's Beach, who said, hey, bro, he said, man, we ain't got no problem with you. And I think he was like a real street dude. And he was like, man, we ain't got no problem with you. Just don't, like, whatever they're saying is what they're saying. Hey, we don't bring no problems out, y'all. It ain't gonna be none. And I said, man, that's respect, man. Hey, respect. I'm glad you tell me. I appreciate that, brother. You know? And so I've been new. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to really tell you. Like, I've been new. And so the females who I was like dealing with in Jacksonville, they knew too. Trying to get me to come to events and stuff like that. Like, you know, I've met all kinds of people from swingers to, you know, because I'm non-judgmental. I don't care as far as how you choose to live your life. The only thing I care is that you got a good heart. Just have a good heart and whatever you do. And hey, man, I'm not going to judge you. So I've met people from various walks of life, man, and mixed and mingled with them in various ways, being grown, of course. And so it just kind of dawned on me like, wow, these women that I'm dealing with, I go to their house, I'm being followed. I leave, I'm being followed. So I knew that 15 years ago, 16 years ago, you know, I said, damn, okay, this is what it is. So I moved correctly. Then I said, you know what, man, whatever's really going on in the background, I really had, at that time, I had no knowledge, like what was really going on, except what my man showed me. But I kept that. That was like the top sticker on my refrigerator, boop, because he didn't have to do that. He did that because they was watching me and said, oh, my man dudes come to the beach, he be chilling, we see him with a chick, or we see him driving around his, my housemate, you know, because it was an old guy, man, you know, old Jewish guy from New York. He was a professor at New York University, and he was like 70 years old, retired, and we was living in like this house together, renting rooms and stuff. And so he said, man, I've never been to the beach. I said, what, man? Get in the car, Mark. Mark get in the car, took him to the beach. Said, man, I've been in Jacksonville 8 years. First time I ever been to the beach. You know what I mean? So I used to do things like that with him, take him with me. So I know they was like, hey, yeah, he riding around with that white guy in the car. Man, that white guy was a smart man, taught me so much about medicine and medication and the pharmaceutical industry from the inside, being a professor. He taught me so much, man. I'm peace to him, you know? So I elevated and I said, well, you know, I'm going to leave here because I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to get it right, get it all together. So in the path, I'm trying to get it all together. I went to trucking school. I said, man, that CDL, you know, the CDL always save you. CDL will save you, man. It'll change your life, man. Especially coming out of prison from that place, a CDL will change your life. Got the CDL. While at truck school, they like to say on their phones. You know what I mean? They like to say on their phones, I'm feeling the energy. I'm feeling the energy, but I ain't saying nothing. You know, I ain't saying nothing. Not a word. No. And then somebody told me, man, them people got video of you in freak offs. I don't care. I'm grown. If you're a peeping Tom, then you're a peeping Tom. But don't say I did nothing I ain't do. Now don't play with me like that. Because I'll have to address you. And see, the whole point was, no, anything dealing with me, it seemed like it can't get addressed. Anything dealing with me, oh, we ain't addressing. Never. Man, I've never been addressed. You know how that make you feel? That don't make you feel like you the tough guy. That make you feel like you around the wrong people. That's how that make you feel. It make you feel like, man, I'm around the wrong people. I want to be around men. For real. Because a real man be like, yo, hey, we got a problem with this. Oh, we got a problem with that. Explain it. And I'd be like, yo, this is what happened. I feel like it was an ambush. Things went sideways. And because of the type of nature of the situation it was, I became the bad person. If I was wrong, I accept total responsibility for it. If I was wrong, I accept total responsibility. But the way it was handled let me know, like, damn, man, you wasn't wrong. I was hoping I was wrong. I was hoping that, man, maybe I overreacted to a situation. I did something to somebody, maybe perhaps, you know, hurt somebody, either their feelings or whatever, and I'm wrong. Man, I'll straighten that out. Man, I'll come on my hands, especially to a woman. I'll come on my hands and knees to straighten it out. And that's real. I ain't telling you no lie. That's real about me. When it comes to a woman, I'll be on my hands and knees to straighten it out. I've tried to fix things. I've tried, man. And I still will try, yeah. Because even if it was an ambush attempt, I'll still apologize for my participation in that because it's my fault. I shouldn't have been hanging out, selling drugs, messing with promiscuous women, doing any of that. I shouldn't have been doing it. I shouldn't have been doing it. You know what I mean? So that's on me. That's my fault. Seriously, my fault. And I thought at that time I should learn my lesson, right? Here go me. I on social media. You know, I wrote the book Rootscraft, you know, and working in Roots, but Rootscraft is my project. Rootscraft is more of me sitting down, writing it like, you know, nail for nail, you know, writing it out, typing it in the computer, and just giving my perspective of spiritual and intellectual knowledge that wisdom I've accumulated. Because I always want to be the one to try to help us, everybody. I don't give a damn who you are, white, black, blue, green, or yellow. I want to help everybody get to the solution of the problem, which is probably the government. Be honest with you. You know, that's the problem. I'm not. I'm just here to help us get there one way or another. But the government is the problem. I am not the problem. But when I came on social media, and which I had this feeling like, yo, don't go on social media because you already know, like, your past, you got to be kind of scared of it because what you went to prison for and all of this other, you got to kind of be scared of that. And I'm like, man, I'm here to help. So I came to help. I came to add, not subtract. And I realized that I had certain women come to me, you know, as students, as clients, as friends, and it all was a Truman Show. It all was a Truman Show. See, from the very first one I connected with, you know, my ex, I connected with my ex, and I don't want to call her name. I wish the best for her because I think deep down inside, right, you know, I just can't be the bad guy. And I'm not going to say she's the bad person, but I will say my ex was exploited, and my bad behavior or my response to the exploitation became what it became. You know, so I hooked up with my ex and we started doing some things together as far as in the group and in the spiritual world. We started doing things together. I taught her some things. I've learned some things from her. And we elevated, you know, and we took it to a certain level. Yeah, we had our relationships differences. I'm not here to badger that. I did wrong, she did wrong. Hey, we were wrong. We didn't fix it. No, we didn't. I learned certain things. I learned that, wow, people be trying to really set you up and backdoor you out here for real, for real. I learned the whole relationship was fake. At least that's how I feel. It was all a setup. It was all Hey, get with him, lure him here. We're going to put him here and we're going to construct something around this whole thing. And we need you to do it for us. And we'll pay you this. I learned about it all. But I saw it unfolding right in front of me and knew, I said, man, this is what got to be. I thought I was paranoid. But guess what? That was my intuition telling me, yeah, they setting you up. Sweet. In the beginning, it was cool. After like a few breakups, you go somewhere and you be off on your own for 6 months, you come back. She had done kind of like congregated with so many people that were against me. And it turned into she ended up getting paid to get me taken out. For real. I'm talking about real drama here. And so, but it's not funny. It's really not. And so I remembered like the first experience of me knowing that we were being followed. So like when I was in DC, we were being followed. Way back then, people followed. Like I bought my truck, right? And I had a load going from, I think it was like Pennsylvania to Cali. So I noticed like on the road, because I'm one of those truck drivers, like I watch the mirrors every 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds. I'm looking in this mirror, I'm looking in that mirror. I'm watching the mirrors. Because when you're pushing a big truck, you got to watch out for the safety of other drivers. You just got to do that, man. You got to look out for the safety of other drivers because people be texting and driving and they can slam into your truck or not see you crossing over. And, and when you in a truck, that's like a tank. You don't want to hit a two-door Toyota with that. You know what I mean? Because people get killed easily like that. So, but I noticed cars following. Same group of cars following from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. Now, this is me and my ex now, me and her. And this many years ago. I'm like, wow. So we got to LA. We went to like, they had a memorial. I think it was in LA or Inglewood. Because I had a load to drop off at the Whirlpool distribution center. And that actually was all the way on the end of Crenshaw Boulevard. There was a Whirlpool distribution center all the way on the end of Crenshaw. So we like in the area with like Boys in the Hood and all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm fanned out. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, I want to take a picture here. Boop. You know what I mean? I'm fanned out, man. For real. And so we went to the Nipsey Memorial. I dropped the load off, went to Nipsey Memorial, which had a dispensary like right there. So we went to the dispensary. I smoked weed back then, of course. And we got some weed. And then I went to a gas station. Soon as I pull up in the gas station, a young guy pulls up, right? He pulls up and be like, yo, as soon as he jump out, he like, yo, that's your truck? And I'm looking at him like, because that's odd. His energy was like, I got to find out what's going on with him. That's the first thing came to my mind. I got to find out what's up. But for what reason? So he'd be like, yo, this your truck? I'm like, yeah. Me and her together now. He said, man, I got this lick. I said, what kind of lick you talking about, bro? Like, what make you think? I'm saying to myself, what make you think you just run up on a random stranger with a truck and tell him you got a lick? I guess I'm born yesterday. All right, cool. I'm cool with that. I was born yesterday. Okay, whatever. And so I'm like, well, bro, man, I said, man, I'm, me and my girl, we on the road. I'm trying to make me some money, man. I ain't with that. He said, man, there's a place where we can go to. All I need is a truck, man. We can load up all. So he opened his trunk and started showing me clothes. He had all the Izod shirts and stuff like that. Man, we can, man, I could load this whole truck up, man. Me and my people could load this whole truck up. Man, we be straight. Break you off and, we get. And he been adamant. But I'm looking at him like, dude, is you really trying to set me up. Time there were like certain things going on with the social media stuff, like between my girl and other spiritual practitioners, between me and the nonsense. It's all nonsense, man, that I had going on about my initiations and all of that there. Stuff that I should have left alone. Yeah, I get it, man. For real. But sending people at you, boy, that's a different level right there now. For real. It really is. I don't want none of that. I ain't want none of that, man. I ain't want none of that. So I noticed they followed me and her around because now I'm on high alert. I ain't telling her, but I'm on high alert. But I got to protect her because she with me. And I don't know if this is just about me or is this about we got the opportunity to get rid of both of them and maybe make it look like he did it. You know, for real. So we get to the hotel, right? After I told the dude, nah, bro, I'm straight, but I'm watching him. And so we on the GPS because I don't know LA. I don't know Cali. So we on the GPS trying to find this particular hotel we trying to get to. Because, you know, we trying to stay in the indoor hotel, of course. So we looking for the hotel. And I had a load to pick up. So I said, well, I'll pick this load up and then get work near where I need to drop it off. When you get to Cali, pick up some loads and run them back and forth in Cali, make some one and bring it back to the East Coast. That was the whole plan. But the whole time, everywhere we went, there was the same group of people. Yep, everywhere we went. So we pulled up in the hotel parking lot, right? Pull up in the hotel parking lot. There is nobody there because this is early morning. Nobody in the hotel parking lot. My truck is the only thing out there. So I had a drone. So I fly my drone, getting pictures like this little bridge that we was near. I'm flying my drone, getting pictures, like taking pictures of me and her at the hotel with the drone, out standing outside. So, you know, having fun. All of a sudden, this guy, another guy, he pulls up in the parking lot, parks right on the side of us, right? So I'm looking. I'm feeling his energy. I said, boy, this man ain't right. This man pulls out a drone. Tell me, I got a drone too, look. And I'm sitting there like, the chances of me running into somebody who just randomly pulls up and say, hey, I got a drone too. That's 1 in a million. And I ain't trying to do no mathematical statisticals with this. You following me, period. You know what I mean? So I'm saying this dude here been just one of the people following us in Cali. Me and my ex, that's right, following us. So I fly my drone, he flying his drone, and he just try to stay there and create. So now I'm looking around like, okay, he's a distraction for something. Whole time, I look, because we were like right by a highway. I look across the highway. Here go, no doubt. Here goes somebody trying to hide. They watching us. I told her, I said, yo, we being watched. She like, man, you tripping. You tripping. So my first mind tell me, no, you ain't tripping, bro. We being watched. That guy at the gas station come with the clothes, talk about, oh, he got a lick and want me to follow him to some location. But not only me, he wanted us to. So my thing is, if that was an ambush, right? So you've been telling me something was supposed to happen to me and her? This you telling me? Wow. So now I'm on a level like, yo, this other guy, he put the all the way confirmation on it. You just randomly could. Who else knew I had a drone? Other than the people that been watching me. Like when I stop places and fly the drone, they were like, oh, we can get close to him because he like to talk about things. He like to, you know, he'll be more friendly with you, and you can get close to him and next to him and hold him up while we set up. Man, I know the whole move. Man, I had to save not only my life, of course, I had to save hers too. Because she been with me. And I didn't know like who these people is because I ain't never did nothing to nobody, no California. So I knew it was something bigger than that. But I've been on point. We going to get the hotel in Cali. They there. Same group of people there. We go to the food spot, like they had these food trucks or whatever on the sidewalk. We walk to the food trucks and people walking around like this, yeah. Like you can't pick the energy up. Like, hold up, man, we being followed, watched, all kind of stuff, right? Me and her together. So we got out of Cali, made it back. We made it back. Ironically, we made it back, I think, to Anderson, South Carolina. And we had a dispute at the hotel because my truck, obviously, something went wrong with it. Which they were tampering with my truck when I wasn't looking. And my truck parked outside, they're cutting wires and messing with my fuel pump and all kinds of stuff. Doing trying to get me trapped on the West Coast so I'll be there so they have more opportunity or whatever to kind of make their moves. You see what I'm saying? But I honestly felt like they was going to take both of us out because me and her kind of pretty much have been involved in so much social media stuff, man. That's why I fell all the way. I said, man, listen, you win. Y'all win. Like, whoever you are, you win, man. Like, you really did. You got that. Because that's extremely dangerous, man. And, to try to cover it up with all of the toxic positivity, like, that's even worse. That's even worse. Manipulating people. So, like, she turned against me. I guess they had to let her in. Because we had a disagreement. So when I came back we got to Anderson, we checked in the hotel right across the street from a truck stop. So I'm calling roadside, trying to get a roadside guy, diesel mechanic, to come and look at the truck. And he looked at the truck. He said, man, I can't get it started, man. I don't know what's wrong. I can't get it started. Full time was my fuse box, different story. So I was like, yo. So while I'm down there talking to him, homegirl in the room video chatting with this guy in Cuba. Video chat with this guy in Cuba. So I guess she wasn't looking or whatever. And I came from the opposite direction. Like, she was looking for me to come from this direction to come back to the room. Something said, no, go that way. So I went that way and come up to the blind side to the room, throw the key in the door. Boom. She's standing right there trying to peep out the window, but she looking the wrong way. And I'm like, what are you doing? So dude from Cuba on video, and then she real quick, I said, man, what's going on? Why are you talking to this guy in Cuba? Oh, this. Whole time, they in on it. So I said, you know what, man? I think you need to go home. You need to go home. You need to go. Yeah, you need to go home. You need to get out of my presence, out of my energy. You just need to leave and go get your stuff and go. And it was my hotel room. I paid for it. So I'm like, you got to go. Yeah, I'll get your Uber or whatever to the airport, but you got to go. So she took my wallet. And honestly, I took her government computer. Which probably is a criminal offense. I'm sorry, feds. I took the government computer. So I'm like, you don't give me my wallet, and like she just started running down the street. So she running down the street with my wallet, right? Man, this story is crazy. She running down the street with the wallet, and ultimately, ironically, there's a white lady with her phone like this, right? Sitting in the truck stop parking lot with her phone like this, car aimed at us, parked in the middle of the parking lot, just aimed at us. So I'm saying to myself, oh shit, We really being watched. Like whatever's going on, they're really watching us. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to tell her, like, yo, chill out, man. Since this lady right here recording us, this whatever going on is bigger than this, or either you down with it. She wouldn't stop. I'm telling her, like, yo, this lady recording us. Like, we can't be out here arguing and carrying on in the middle of the street. We can't. Give me my wallet. Here's your computer. And then I'll get you an Uber or Lyft or whatever you need to the airport or whatever. But we got to separate. She tries to fight me. That's how I knew. I had to call them people to protect me. Because I already know how this is going. Here go this random white lady in her car, doors locked like hell. And she like this here, recording. Like, I don't know that she either the feds, probably not the feds wouldn't do it like that, or some foolish private investigator, or somebody looking for, I don't know. But she wasn't no random person doing a good deed or a good act, because she would have called the cops if she felt like, you know, they're being disruptive out there. She never did that. She was recording. So she did that. And the cops came. She got her laptop. I got my wallet. So we part ways. You know? Yeah, we part ways. And then some people checked into the hotel. Now, she gone. Some people, a guy, a girl. Because I went in one of them hotels where it was like only like 5 people in there. So a guy and a girl, and they had like 2 kids with them. They pull up to the hotel. This story time here is something serious. They pulled up to the hotel, so they was like, yo, my man immediately, like, I'm by the pool chilling. I'm sitting in the pool, and I saw when they checked in, the next thing you know, he come over there. Oh, you smoke? You just walk up to random people and ask me if I smoke. Red flag. I said, nah, I'm good. I said, but I'll buy some from you just to kind of keep it friendly. You know, I said, I don't smoke with people, man, but, you know, I'll buy something from you, just keep it friendly. So he tried to over-friend me. You see what I'm saying? I said, okay, I'm being followed for real. Like, this following thing is real. And this is many, many years ago. So, and it was based on what was going on social media. And I'm like, man, so I fell back. I said, man, I'm like, I got to leave this alone because it might get dangerous. It might get dangerous. And I'm not for that. I'm really not for that, man. I am not for that. I am not like that. I ain't on that kind of time. You know, of course, when people get upset and mad, they say things, you know, but that don't ultimately mean, well, I'm going to just go out here and be some wild renegade. Nah, man, I'm trying to add on. I'm trying to build and make something happen that is progressive, not feed into any negative stuff that already done happened. You know, but I noticed that when I separated from her, you know, I was being followed even more. She was being followed. I told her, I said, listen, man, somebody's hacking into like your stuff. I don't care. Okay. You don't care. They got all the videos that you ever did, private videos you did in Cuba. Then people got all of that stuff. Same way they had all of mine. That's why I was switching phones so much. I was switching phones so much because I knew my phone was cloned. And when I wanted to conduct certain business, I just get a phone and I can't give certain people the phone number. Pardon me for a second. Curious George. Yeah, so you know, that's why I was switching phones. You know, so we end up getting back together, right? And this is like skimming through it. And we end up getting back together. This is a hell of a story time. Me and my ex, we end up getting back together. So, because at the time I've been thinking, man, the people trying to harm me and her. Why else would you be in LA? Some random guy, young guy too. He pulls out, oh man, y'all just follow me over here and we're going to make this happen. We're going to break y'all off. That's a trap. But you telling me that it wasn't only about me, it was me and her. We both, I'll be honest with you, probably would have, something would have happened. Dangerous, very dangerous. And so I developed compassion towards her, even though she kind of like went on this weird tangent. Because I guess they had to like pay her or make sure she was straight so that part of the story don't come out. They had to pay her, make sure that part of the story come out or whatever they did. But that's the truth. And so when we got back together, the whole getting back together was not my love bombing. We're going to get back together. Let's do this, man. Let's do this the right way. And we've been through some things together, man. We've been through a whole fire, man. I saved her and her kids from the fire. And just to rewind, God is, or the universe, the spirit world is very intense. I left I left Jacksonville and came to DC to kind of be with her. Like she kind of just put her husband out. I was foolish, man. I was foolish. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have mixed up with that energy. I shouldn't have done none of that. That's all my fault. And so when I went back, it was like there was a different energy and there was like a constant like trying to fight all the time. Not argue fight, like physical fight. Every time I got punched in my face, bap. I'm like, go ahead now, bap. I blocking things, doing my little kung fu, you know what I mean? Blocking moves, you know what I mean? You got me practicing my kung fu now. I'm trying to block, trying to do the fully shuffle, man. Trying to get them stuff up off me. And it was constant. I'm like, why is she want to fight me? And then when I saw her went online and said that I'm an abuser, I said, that's what that's about. That's what it's about. That's what it's really about. Now, if you're asking me, man, I put some cursing down. I ain't gonna lie to you. I put some cussing down and I acted out of character in Texas, phone call conversations. Because I'm like, I've been asking why so much when I should have just get out the way. But when you're a person that is being love bombed, it's one of them situations where, they're there to make you feel like they care, but they're really trying to set you up to get you taken out of here. They're just trying to figure out how they're going to do it because you're not easy to do that to. Because they know your awareness is like on another level. And that's no ego stroke. I ain't with the ego stroke. I'm being real and honest. And so, got with her. And I can tell you, man, I'm being honest. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if that been God or I don't know if that been somebody trying to take us out. I don't know. All I know is we woke up that morning, smoke is all in the living room. Smoke was all coming through the hallway and bust through the door. Black, thick, dark, hell. So, you know what I mean? So grab her kids, jump from the third balcony and save everybody. Went back, save old lady, went back in the thing, beating on my man, door downstairs, who was clearly sleeping while the building been burning. They said, look at that dude there. He crazy. He running in a burning building. And I said, yeah, I got to run in this burning building. Because I want to make sure that everybody out, because I care. And I don't feel like no tragedy is on my heart. You know what I mean? And I thought that would have kind of like put us in a position, but I ain't harboring nothing. I thought like that's a connection. That I guess a trauma bond is what you would say. So I realized, okay, through the course of time, it wasn't working. And I wonder why, like, the young lady just went ballistic all over social media. Family and all, their mama and all, everybody validating what she's saying. Everybody validating. And I don't know nothing. I know a thing. I don't know nothing. All I know is that either they're misrepresenting the experience that they had with me, or they're making things up that I should be able to address. I really should. But, you know, they learn from some other people. Don't let them address it. Don't let them address it. No, don't let them address it. Don't let them address it. Hide and talk about them. Don't let them address it. Please don't. And then here go a slew of other people who don't know me, never met me a day in their life. They're repeating this stuff, you know, because of repetition, the power of repetition. People believe what they hear repeatedly. So when you got a group of people, and I told her back then, 9-10 years ago, I told her, I said, listen, there is a group of people that don't like me nor you. So when we move around and on the internet, we got to be careful about who we entertaining. And we was entertaining so many people that it became a bad thing. It became a bad thing. So what I've learned is don't entertain people. Stop with the clients. You know, somebody wants your services. Hey, they can talk to you. They can get your services or whatever, but don't be taking multiple people, because that's how things happen. And it ain't no telling the lengths that people really will go through when they don't like you. They really will go all the way there and beyond, for real. And, you know, had I known, I'm thinking I'm on a spiritual journey at that time. I'm thinking I'm on a spiritual journey the whole time. I'm in a sex cult. Like, freak offs everywhere, all the time. And I'm like, that's why I have to separate myself the way I did, because people been playing games and I don't like that. Like, if I'm wrong, man. Let me get out the way. If you wrong, you wrong. But if you admit it, then okay, man, cool. Like, let's just keep this thing moving, man, because ain't nobody want that kind of problems. My ex been on social media for years talking about me. And I feel for her, man. Because, see, I know the truth. I know the truth was there was a time when whoever angry or whoever that is mad, that they were willing to do something to me and her, because they tried. You see, if they wasn't willing, they wouldn't have tried. Come follow us, man. Come follow. Who's us? Now there's another car across the street. Come and follow them to some location somewhere I don't know in the state. Like, really? Want me and her? So we all gonna do? Let her go? Come on, let's be real. Let's be honest. That's way back then. So I know, like, I've been being followed. I know I've been being tracked. I've seen people on Greyhound buses, Amtrak, airport following me, getting the Uber, go one place, boom, these people there. Then try to switch cars, but the energy's still the same. I got arrested in my van for having a firearm in Georgia. And I got all the evidence of that, every drop of it. You find a 9mm with 2 clips. Okay. I'm done. Me and my son together. So when the man said, first of all, how this all started and it happened was crazy. We just leave the gas station. I said, we in Georgia. Make sure your seatbelt on. Stay over here in this right lane over here in the trucking lane and do the speed limit. Do 5 miles under the speed limit. Let's make it through Georgia. That's the plan. Okay. My son driving. Man, they still pull us. Then the man say, you see, I know coming through Georgia, you got to have your seatbelt on. So you can't fool me with that one. He said, well, He driving, his license is kind of find out my son's license ain't suspended. Or was suspended at that time. Come to find out he did have a seatbelt on. So they lock him up. They lock both of us up because he's talking about, oh, we got to call a K9 unit. This is a traffic stop. Why are you calling the K9 unit, sir? This is a traffic stop. Why are you calling the K9 units? So now the K9 unit come. Oh, as soon as he get out the car, him and the dog running over there to the truck, right? The dog got hit. I'm like, the dog ain't no damn hit because it ain't nothing. And you come too early because I really was about to buy some weed when I got to Atlanta, but we never made it there. You stopped us too early for that. So I'm tripping because there ain't nothing in there but black and mild dust. And when I got in my bag, so now they done pull out 9mm 2 clips. Who's that? Who one this is? That's mine, sir. My son ain't got nothing to do with that. That's mine. All right. So I know I'm going to jail. Hey, convicted felon, because I've been to prison, obviously. I'm going to jail. I'm probably going to do 10 years in Georgia. This is the way I'm thinking. Man, let me tell you something. I got proof of everything I'm talking about. Everything. And so we get to this county jail. This is the crazy part about it. This is how I know government is in on it. For real. The government is in on it. Hey, I ain't want no problems with y'all. I really don't. You did what you did. I have to make sure I be straight, make sure I still standing, and I get out your way. Hey, man, that's all I'm doing, staying out your way. Because I don't want no problem with the police. I don't want no problem with government informants. I don't want no problems with the FBI. I don't want no problems with no CIA agents. I don't want them problems. I'm not even worth them kind of problems. Shit, for real. I don't want them. And so I get in jail and I say, well, where's my paperwork? Like, ain't no paper. The lady come to me and say, there ain't no paperwork. Our policy is if they don't bring any paperwork for you within 48 hours, then we got to release you. I said, man, I know they ain't. I got a whole goddamn Smith & Wesson 9mm with 2 clips. Oh, they bringing that paperwork. Oh, yeah, they bring the paperwork. Yeah, they got the paperwork. It's coming. Lo and behold, them people ain't never show up with the doggone paperwork. Never showed up with the paperwork. How could GSP knock you off coming through Georgia and ain't no paperwork come to the jail and they let me out? Check it out. They let me out. Jail. 11:30 at night in a dark country sundown town. No lifts and Ubers there. The nearest town is about 10 miles away and I got to walk. So now that's a whole experience I'll tell some other time. I had to walk. I had to actually call public safety to give me a ride to the nearest town to get in the hotel. Then when I get there, 2 dudes in the truck. They're sitting in the truck, like right in front of they're watching me. Like I don't see them. Or like I don't like feel your energy. So I say, well, hold up. Police are involved. It's the cops. Oh yeah. Ain't no way in the world you're going to get catch with a gun in Georgia. And the police don't bring your paperwork to the jail and they got to let you go. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a federal do not detain. That's what it sounds like. A federal do not detain. Don't detain them. Because we watching them. Hey, listen, I get it. That's why when I say I know the Fed's watching, I know they're watching. They're probably right in right now, scratching their like, this dude is telling on us. Yeah. I mean, because my thing is, the Fed's involved. So that means some people that I may have been into the in the spiritual thing on social media are the police. That's what it means to me. Like, whatever been going on, and then I've been let that go, and I still letting it go. Hey, listen, I submit, white flag. White flag. Because when I get in court, the crazy part, they let me go. I come back home. So I had to go to court. Man, I get in court. I got the paperwork right here. I got that paperwork. I get catch with a 9mm with 2 clips. I had a public defender. That's how I know they all in on it. In Jackson County, Jackson, Georgia. Oh yeah, they all in on it. I get in front of the judge. The lady say, don't say nothing. That's what the public defender tell me. Don't say nothing. So I'm like, because first they came to me, they talk about, well, the solicitor said he wants to give you 5 years probation. I'm like, who gets 5 years? Dude, I'm a convicted felon in the state of South Carolina, and y'all offer me 5 years probation. I knew the government was involved. The police, at least. Or those cops, at least, were involved. You want me to do 5 years probation? I said, oh, no, I ain't doing no 5 years probation. No, I said it was a legal search and seizure. Y'all know that. They ain't even bring the paperwork to the jail. I start quoting all the legal ramifications of the case. She said, well, the solicitor said, you got to take something. So I said, well, tell him I take 3 years probation. Since he's so adamant in getting me on paperwork. Man, I say that. This all right, sign right here. So I goes to court, and you wouldn't believe it. I don't believe it. I really don't. I go to court. The solicitor said, well, Your Honor, he just had a 22, those little small 22 revolver Smith & Wesson. And I'm sitting there like, the truth in me want to say, hell no. What I'm going to do with a 22 revolver? Shoot a squirrel? Shit. But what I'm going to do with a 22 revolver? And I'm sitting there like, whoa. It's all a setup. The solicitor, the public defender was representing me, and the judge been in on it. They've been in on it. We need to catch him, but when they caught me, somebody called them and said he's on do not detain, so let him go. He on the do not detain, so let him go. Somebody called him and telling people that. He on the do not detain, so let him slide. Let him slide. Let him go. I already got a gun charge now in South Carolina, another gun charge in Georgia. I knew I was going to do some time. I thought, when they came at me like that, let me out of jail with no bond, I knew right then that, boy, listen, boy, the feds watching. I started singing 2 Chainz. Like, this is crazy for somebody, especially like me. All I doing is a little spiritual work, running my trucking business. I don't do no scammery and fraud and all of that. I really don't. If I needed to, I would have been did it. I don't do that kind of stuff. I try to keep my hand clean because I done been in that life. And that life is over. It's really over with me, And so I knew I was on the federal do not detain. I knew at that point. I knew it. I realized, okay, this is what it is. So went to court, the judge, the solicitor, and the public defender, they got together probably all right before I came in there, and they said, we just going to give him the 3 years probation, touch him on the finger, and let him go, because somebody from up here done called. And now I'm scared as hell. Because I ain't never beat a charge. Shit. I'm scared as hell, man. I ain't never beat a charge. I never beat a charge. I always have to plead guilty. Plead guilty. I ain't never beat a charge. And they gave me 3 years probation. And you have to plead guilty, of course. And they gave me 3 years probation for a gun in the state of Georgia. That blew my mind. That's how I knew I was on the federal do not detain list. They had to let me go. They had to. Now, now while I was in the jail in Jackson County, of course, people talking. Everybody know me except me. That was weird. Everybody know me except me. But people talk and then they start talking too much. You see what I'm saying? So now you really know. You know what I mean? And so it's one of them situations where I was trying to figure out, like, why all of this? Why all of this? Well, there's all the lying going on back there that create people take the truth and mix some truths, your interactions with them, and put a bunch of lie in it. So, and stir the pot so bad that people really think, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I've always been I've been truly transparent. Anything somebody need to ask me, they can just call me up, hit me up, ask me, man. Let's get, because all this being on the federal do not detain list is wicked. Well, yeah, I'm on the watch list, so I ain't even tripping. That's why, like, right now where I'm at, I ain't trying to cause no problems. I said a few things because them things that needed to create all this chaos and everybody go down. Or we get as much of them as we could. And listen, peace, brother. Peace, and more peace. You hear me? Because when it all boiled down, everybody gonna get in trouble. And I know I've said some things to try to give you a pointer, but sometimes you got to be direct. Hey, listen, call me. Call me. We can hash it all the way out. But if you want to hide and still do that stuff, what happens is innocent people are going to get hurt and probably knocked off by the cops or whatever. I don't like that, because that ain't right. You got people who can't control their emotions, so they put themselves on Front Street for other people hiding, and that ain't cool. Like, let's just go ahead and discuss, like, what need to get discussed, man, and accept our parts in everything, and move on. Like, nobody's like, I don't want people to get in trouble. I've never wanted nobody to get in trouble. I've had all of the clear opportunities and chances to get people in trouble, and I didn't, because that's not me. I don't move like that. I don't. You see what I'm saying? But damn, you got me on the federal do not detain. I mean, at some point I appreciate it, because I was gone. But guess what? They would have never pulled me over if y'all ain't never tell them what kind of truck I've been in and who to look out for. Because the feds ain't got no reason to come at me. For real. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, the feds ain't got no reason. This is what it is. But being on the federal do not detain list, I know that kind of like, stay away from all negativity. All negativity. I'm not trying to create no arguments with nobody. I'm not trying to fuss with nobody, especially here in my city. I ain't trying to get none of them guys in trouble. If they like me, hey, we cool. If they don't, hey, bro, peace. Go ahead over there. I don't want to fight you, because the people waiting on a fight to start. Because as soon as the fight start, they come in try to scoop everybody up, and then guess what? That's my fault again. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm for me personally, I'm prepared to make a couple of phone calls and call some people and tell them, hey, man, listen, if anybody need to have a discussion with me, man, let's go ahead, and because any signs of problems, man, then people are sitting back waiting to see who they can come and collect. They collecting souls. And I'm not with that. But all of this, because I'm thinking I might have been in a relationship with a federal agent. I don't know. All I know is they work for the federal government, but all this federal shit coming in because it's messing with you and the situations that I participated in. No doubt. I participated in some situations with my ex, with the spiritual community, and things I should have left alone, man. And I can be honest with you. And this is the biggest apology that I can give. You know, I already gave apology before. You know, I already gave apology before in public and in private, but I'm very serious because there were people who my actions towards. I was like in a cage. Actions towards. I was like in a cage. So I had to release myself. And I fell back because I do not want anybody to be hurt or in trouble. I don't want that. I'm not no tough guy. Only gangster I got is being a gangster for God. And that don't got nothing to do with going around bothering people and all of that mess. I'm not doing that. I'm really not, man. You know, so I want people to really understand, like, moving forward. And I'm backing up off social media and all, you know. I got other things happening for me, man, you know, and stuff. But, you know, I'm backing up because I want to give people their space and their peace. Because if you feel like you ain't at peace with me, then nothing I can do about it. You know, you don't owe me an explanation. I don't owe you an explanation. We all know what we did, and we all know what was done. We know the lies. We know the fabrications. We know the truth. You know, I'm just not with that. That's where you got me messed up at. But we ain't going there because people done got hurt. People are seemingly continue to be hurt. Invasions of privacies, like they got hackers hacking my family members, other people's family members. They're writing books. They're making movie scripts. They're doing the most. Bloodsuckers of the poor involved in this and all. The police involved in this. I can't go nowhere. If I go somewhere, I'm guaranteed to have 3 gang stalkers and 5 cops following me. I've been to Walmart. I went to Walmart a couple of weeks ago, right? I went up in there, man. I already know because as I'm in the car looking, I'm like, okay, I'm watching these cars follow. I get in Walmart, because this is a not non-rehearsed. It's just like some straight from the heart story about this stuff, man. Because, you know, I would say being gang stalked is interesting. Like I said, when I went in Walmart, I intentionally went to the fabric department because, like I said, no one be in the fabric department, you know. And so when I went there, all of a sudden, these 2 guys, they're standing there waiting on fabric too, like this here. I look at one of the guys and say, man, you all right, man? I look at the other guy, you all right? I know y'all ain't looking for no fabric. You watching me. You following me. You know? So I went to the recording studio, right? And, you know, my heart tells me this is the same people that did that stuff down there on Calhoun Street. You know, the same group of people that did that. You know, I definitely feel like this is the same group of people. So I went to the recording studio. I called the studio, booked me a session. And that's when I made that song, God's Phone. I did that in the big recording studio. So I went there, you know, recorded the song. But in the Uber, because I called it Uber over there, yeah. I went there, and as we riding, I'm noticing this particular, you know, pickup truck following, you know. So I told the Uber guy, I was like, yo, because I'm giving him directions, but I'm giving them weird directions. I said, man, the GPS ain't right. I look up at him. I said, the GPS ain't right. Turn down this street. Now I got him turning through neighborhoods just to see if that truck gonna follow. So I said, turn here, make a left here. He make a left there, going down nonsensical streets. That truck's still following. Okay. So I pull up to the recording studio. He parked across the street at the doctor office. Right? So he think I ain't watching him, right? But I am. So I'm watching him go like around to the back of a building because he thought he had me with my back turned or whatever, but I got senses that you wouldn't even believe. So I saw him go behind the building. And I was like, why would he go by in the building? Okay, I go in the recording studio, go record. While we record, I come outside to smoke. I'm looking. He looking. Because once you develop a certain eye sense, you can see through a tent. Or, not see through it, but you can see that there is an image behind that tent. Okay. And the way he got his truck parked is like he can sit in his truck and watch the front door of the recording studio. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got my book bag with me, So I'm like, all right, let me do what I need to do here and get on through. And I did that. Now that, so many instances, like I've been in the outlet. I've been in the outlet. Here go this dude. He got like, on God, this dude following me around in the outlet, right? He got like 7 kids with him, 7, 8 kids with him. I don't know if it was like for protection or whatever, or like, it's like, we got the word on him. He's some maniac or whatever. I don't know what it was, but the reason why he got 7 little kids, I mean, like nobody, like that's unnormal. One man with 7, 8, 9 teenagers, all of them look like they're about 10, 11 years old, 11, 10, 11, and they following me. So I goes into, I went into the, what's the Foot Locker, went in Foot Locker, bought a pair of sneakers, and then they come in Foot Locker. So I went in the Gap. They come in the Gap. So this dude, he got this crazy, ugly smirk on his face, like, and I'm looking at this dude like, man, come on, man. Like, really? Like, man. And then you got little kids with you and you playing like that? Man, you dangerous. You dangerous, son. Yeah, you dangerous as hell. Yeah. So I'm like, whoa. I said, let me get what I'm getting and get on through. Because ultimately, man, like, I don't want no problems like that. I don't want no problems with, and I know like people done did what they did, but the only thing I can do is tell them my truth. People just they don't like you, or they don't mess with you like that. Cool, man. Hey, keep it moving. I keep mine moving, you keep yours moving. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously nobody won't tell the truth, but I'll tell the truth. Because see, I know for a fact, me, man, who wake up every morning and say, you know what, I'm gonna go out there and hurt somebody. Or I'm gonna go out there and do something so stupid to people and have everybody mad at me. I don't operate like that. There's people who got problems and issues behind things that has been said on social media after they've done the worst, damaged my mother's car numerous amounts of times. And this is before I even met you guys on social media. That's the part. See, all of this is what happens when people inherit other people's problems. When people inherit other people's, what we call revenge, when people inherit other people's problems with you, oh, that's what happens. You see? And it just blew all the way out of proportion with the setups and the ambushes and the love bombing, the fake relationship, the fake marriage. And it's amazing what people really would do, for real, to try to take you out. Because it ain't about no downfall and takedown like you're hearing. It's about a takeout. And I get it. I mean, like, I understand it. I understand people's psychotic rage. I also understand the lies that has been told and why they're being told. I mean, like, people get together in groups and group lie. I said that in my book. I got a whole chapter in Rootscraft that speaks about group lying. And that's when people really want you out of here. They want you gone. They don't want you around them, blah, blah, blah. And And it's like, okay, I've been keeping my distance, you know, because I've been know what was going on. I've been know there were a particular group of people, like when I first came home from prison, like I said earlier, that they didn't like me. They wanted me out of here. I changed my life. I changed my opinions. I changed my thoughts, and I moved differently, even though I still got flaws, even though I still had flaws. I worked through my flaws and kept it moving. You see what I'm saying? I never said I was a saint on social media. I said I come from the struggle. I've always said that in private. I never really got on social media and say, hey, everybody, you know, I'm broken and I'm trying to heal myself. I created a whole system of healing because that's how I maintain my sanity. A whole system of healing. That don't mean you perfect. I never said I was healed. I said I was healing. And some of the things that I have to heal from is you wouldn't believe. You know, family trauma is serious. It's very serious. You know, you can have family members, mama, daddy, sister, brother, uncle, and cousin who hated you. Like the reason I was in prison, because my first cousin snitched on me. And people say, well, tell us who did this. He jump up in the courtroom and say, my cousin, right there. You know? After everything that I done been through, after everything we done been through, I ain't saying a word. I toughen it out. My first cousin. His brother went on to be, man, you don't even want to hear the story. I ain't telling that part. But I took it. I didn't say, oh, man, I'm going to tell on you because you tell on me. I took it. And boy, you guilty, man. I guilty, man. What kind of deal I can get? I plead and cut him loose because he been telling too hard. And I regret all of that stuff, man. That was a 15-year-old mind state. Same thing the 15-year-olds are doing right now. I used to do that. That's why I feel compassion for like the young rappers. You know, I feel compassion for these young generations who thinking, you 15, 16, 17 now, you hard as hell. You're a gangster. Yes, you are. But man, when you start getting 30 and 40, try to change your life, and all them people that sit there and watch you did all of this stuff, they're going to be afraid of you. And you're going to have to comply with them, be who they want you to be in order for them to feel safe. Because all they're going to remember is Lil Donnie with the Glock, with the switch. That's all they're going to remember. Lil Donnie with the switch. You can be 50 years old, in their mind, you still Lil Donnie with the switch. And they're scared as hell of you. And I had to experience that. I experienced that. Oh, yeah. Your family be like, get some money. Okay, you go out there and get some money. As long as the money coming is all right. The money stop, boy, you in trouble. They tear you up. Dysfunctional family systems. I don't blame them. I mean, because that's the cards that God deal me. God deal me a card where, you know, my uncle tried to kill me, my own uncle. I've been 10 years old. My own uncle tried to kill me. I've been 10, you know, when you're 10 years old, you experiment, you smoke a little weed and stuff like that. Man, my uncle had a big garbage bag full of weed, man, all bagged up, right? Let me tell you the story before I let y'all go. He had this big garbage bag of weed and everything was already bagged up. Back in them days, they used to put it in those manila envelopes and roll them up. So, you know, he had he only had 60 of them. I took one. Me and my partners, then we went, go and sat behind the church and we smoking joints. Man, I come back around by the house, everybody looking for me. Because he, one of the kind of people, he leave the house, come back, he counting everything. And so my uncle looking for me. They said, what you did to your uncle? He looking for you with a gun. I said, with a gun? I said, man. So I'm thinking, like, how he missed this one bag? But he's a mathematician. He count everything. When he leave, he come back and count it all up. And say, one bag missing. I take that bag. I owe him some money. And he gonna shoot me in my head. I said, man, my uncle probably tripping on drugs or whatever. Shit. Man, I went to my aunt's house, tried to hide out at my aunt crib, right, on the projects. He come down there, bust open the room door. and put the gun to my head, put the 30, give my money, motherfucker, talking to me like I'm a dude in the street, man. I'm 10 years old. I'm shell shocked at this point. I'm like, man, is this really what it is? And to watch your family like cover that up, they like put it under the, it goes under the rug, and you have to deal with it, So I have to deal with it. I have to let it go, I have to let it go. So like all these other things, I let it go. My own uncle came on social media, blasted all my business, all my personal, well, much as he knew, he could think he could, what he thought he knew. He blasted on social, made posters, and my own uncle, blood family, made posters about me. And my mama made posters telling people, and which gives people the opportunity to say, oh yeah, see his own family against him. That's an old tactic. His own family don't like him, so we ain't got no reason to like him. You ain't never did like me, man. And it's okay. But you ain't got to use that for any excuse, because you understand that a person comes from a dysfunctional family who stab each other in the back, and cousins who ain't real, and when you come from that, yeah, you a target. They're gonna target. You got to comply with everything everybody's saying, because they all feel like if you don't, we're gonna use all of this against you, because we already know they ain't gonna protect you. We already know that. We know, we've been around you most of our lives, teenager years and stuff like that. We know your family ain't gonna protect you, because we done tested them, and they done sat in our circles and watched us talk about you. So we know. That's a power move. I get it. You know what I mean? But moving forward, I can definitely tell you that I am off the picture. I am only here to try to contribute to the empowerment of everybody. If people don't like that about me, I can't help it, man. I can't. I've been through, like I said, I've been through like 50 damn ambush attempts and setups and stuff like that, to the point to where I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth, man. The majority of this stuff started behind my ex being paid and going on social media doing the most. I just still don't even want to hurt her. I don't, at certain points of time, you be upset, you be angry, you be like, oh man, I want some get back. And then the real part of you be like, that's a lesson, because it's your fault. You should have seen it. You should have believed in you instead of believing in some relationship thing going on, because that ain't what it was. It was a pure setup. You know what I mean? Fake clients. Everything has been truly a Truman Show. Truly a Truman Show. Everybody been fake. Everybody. Everybody was paid off. Well, the majority. Not everybody, but the majority. Because I'm the person that they want to see what's really going on. But really, there ain't nothing going on. Not by being grown. Not by protecting my peace. The same way you say you protect yours, I got to protect mine. And so me protecting my peace don't mean I need to be out here on social media disrespecting people to get my point across. It's not even about getting the point across. It's really not. It's just about telling the truth, because too much has happened, and it's a trap. It's a trap. Get it? For real. Seriously, it's a trap. It ain't my trap, because I ain't trying to trap nobody. I'm the one they watching. I'm the one the feds watching. I ain't trying to trap nobody, because I ain't talk to them people. But they talk to them people about me. Oh yeah, they did. Big time. Lied on me and all kinds of stuff. But I got to keep it going, because that don't move me, because I know them things ain't true. Or at least the way that you're saying it is not true. The way that you're saying it, I will tell you, the way that you're saying it is not true. I'm not even mad. I used to be like crazy angry, like, oh, and the crash out was on. But now I'm like, man, this is bizarre at this point. bizarre, especially when you have law enforcement involved. It's a trap. Because one thing about law enforcement, they don't care. They'll act like they care about, oh yeah, y'all get them. And then soon they come sweep everybody up. You know, those private chat groups probably got federal agents, CIA agents in them. You know, they're everywhere. In every organization, there's a federal agent. Some of these agents, these groups and societies or whatever, they're full of cops all over the place and informants and stuff. And it's really nothing to inform about me other than, you know, we try to do things to him and he protected himself. You know, he protected himself and we mad. And it's like, I'm honestly telling y'all, man, like, I'm out. I'm out. Y'all got this. You win. I'm out, because the most perfectly thing to do so nobody else get in trouble is to back out. Back out. So moving forward, like, no one's hearing anything negative come from me. I don't have no subliminals. I don't like I hate subliminals. You know why? Because I guess my mentality at that time and still now is like, if I got to speak to you through a code or some subliminal, then if it's not directed, you know, people say not directed, not respected, but all my life I've been around, my own family members would walk around and say subliminal stuff. And I'm sitting right there. And I'm like, what do you mean by this? Like, explain it to me. Like, tell me, what do you mean? You just ain't saying nothing. You looking at the wall, but you saying something that you want me to address. So I'm like, okay, I'll address it for you. Here it is. Boom, 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 boom. You lying. You don't believe me. And I'm like, I see where everybody else get it from. They got it from my family. I see exactly where they got it from. My family. But yet I still got to like walk with their skeletons. I got to take their skeletons and keep it where it's at. And they get to play with me all kinds of ways. I don't understand that. And that's not right. It's not moral. It's no honor, no integrity. So then when I get angry, of course, at some point, everybody got their brother, or I had to tell my cousins or my uncles, like, yo, this is where y'all wrong at. They might not like it. They might not like how I say it. They might not like the level of animation I have to it when I'm saying it, but I'm speaking the truth. For real. Because if you have a psychotic or a narcissistic parent, that can be more dangerous than having 50 enemies. A narcissistic parent can be extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Narcissistic family members can be extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. You know, they'll be friends with your enemies. They'll be friends with people that they know don't like you. And then when you bring it up to them, they're going to be like, oh, that's my friend. Can't tell me who to have as my friend. And you be sitting there like, I'm not trying to pick and choose your friend. I'm saying I'm your family member. I'm your son. I'm your nephew. Like, I'm telling you what's going on and you telling me, nah, them my friends. So that statement, them my friends, means they're more important to me than you are. So deal with it. And that is the most psychotic, toxic behavior on this planet. Okay? It really is. It really is. So, you know, throughout all of the, you know, people from your past, they know you. So they kind of know like your family dynamics and they know how to exploit and manipulate it. And the minute that they choose to get on the phone and say, well, all this about my cousin did all that. Man, let me instead they say that and call me, put me on speakerphone or tell me, hey man, we over here, pull up, you know, or we'll come around there, however, you know, to figure out like why these people saying these things about you. They never did it. Never did it. They kept their friends and sit there with their friends. And it makes you wonder, like if your own family members, cousins, or whoever sit around people that talk about you at that magnitude, something is wrong. Like I say, I know about the receipts. I know about the text messages. Half of them I played into. In the past, I have to play into things just to find out what's going on. Because if you don't play into certain things, you never know what's going on. So you got to put people kind of in a position to where they can't play dumb. Because playing dumb sometimes means I got something to really hide other than the truth. So I learned, and this is real stuff here. I've learned to like just sit back and watch and observe, see how everything go. I've watched, like I said, I've watched my own family members participate, talk about me. And the crazy part is it's about religion with them mainly. It's about religion and me keeping their skeletons where he at. That's crazy. Religious bigotry is horrible. So that's why I'm like, I ain't dealing with no religion. I deal with God. Y'all deal with religion. I deal with God directly, supreme being.